Building wealth, building a nest egg, it doesn't happen by accident. It takes great discipline, education, and real commitment to your financial future. Today, I want to talk to you about the wealthy mindset and how the most successful retirees have built the nest egg and have built a retirement on success and something that they'll be able to enjoy and go after throughout their journey. Good day, everybody. Chris Heerlein here of REAP Financial and host of Retire Ready TV on KXAN every week with you there, dropping new content, and also host of Retire Ready Radio every Saturday, 11 a.m. Tune in with me every week to stay on top of the latest. And if you enjoy our YouTube channel, hit the subscribe button, click the bell for notifications. We're dropping new content on here all throughout the month. Today, I want to talk about the wealthy mindset, building wealth. When I think about the most successful retirees that we work with at REAP Financial, you know, this stuff doesn't happen by accident, okay? And these individuals, many cases, were top-level executives. Maybe they were business owners that put all their money back into their business and then they have an exit, a big capital event. Or the retirees that just diligently saved all along the way, many of which didn't have monster salaries. They just paid themselves first. And so I want to talk to you about some of the top ways that the wealthy and the most successful are going after this dream retirement. Number one, you got to think long-term. I know a lot of people are concerned here in 2025 with a lot of the market fluctuation that we've seen. There's a lot of unknown. The markets don't like unknown, and I get that. But at the end of the day, historically, markets have always returned. And so when you think about how your portfolio is positioned, are you comfortable with what the markets are doing? Are you losing sleep at night? Do you have anxiety? Does your spouse have anxiety? These type of things can be avoided. And it starts by, number one, getting on the same page, but having a long-term mindset with your investments, having money that's doing different things in different areas. Your portfolio, when you think about it, whether it's stocks or real estate, anything else, when the stock market's going up, you're happy, right? When the stock market's going down, that's when we get concerned. Let me ask you, in your portfolio, when the market's going down, what do you have that is going up? What do you have that's not going anywhere? And most investors, they really can't answer with certainty. Or they say, no, it's just up and down, up and down. That's the difference right there. True diversification and a long-term approach can ground you from making real emotional decisions, knee-jerk decisions that can derail plans. Another key point of the wealthy mindset is investing in yourself, staying a student of the game. A lot of you don't do finance for a living. You don't do investments for a living. That's not really what you want to do. But it's important that you are informed and that you are engaged to some level in your finances, particularly married couples. A lot of times, one of the spouses does the money, the one, they don't want anything to do with it, and that's just fine. But again, knowing what you have, knowing what the portfolio can do, how long it's going to last, how much tax you're going to pay on it, all these type of things are very critical for true success. And the wealthy, they stay engaged. And one of the reasons that the wealthy and successful retirees hire fiduciary advisors is because they want accountability. They want objectivity. They want somebody that's watching this much closer than maybe they want to. And just keep this in mind. If you do have a spouse that is not engaged, a lot of successful people will hire a fiduciary advisor to ensure that they have somebody that is trusted by the family in the event that the spouse that did manage money or was involved, if they pass away, that the spouse has somebody that they can lean on and that has been vetted and is trusted by the family. So that is a key point, is just staying in the game, staying a student of the game. I've always said, retiring is it's one of these things where you're always thinking about when I'm going to retire. We want you to think about what you're going to do when you retire. And that leads me to my next point, is that successful retirees, the wealthy mindset is staying sharp, staying active, thinking through how you want to go about your day, finding new purpose that's not just tied on up to the business card that you once had at your job. These are the things that will prolong your life in many cases. These are the things that can give you true happiness and purpose. Obviously, grandkids and family, that's of utmost importance to so many of our families. But thinking through your day, what you're going to be doing with your time, and maybe it's going and chasing a passion, maybe it's starting a business, maybe it's just getting into that hobby that you never had time to do during the working years. Stay active, stay engaged. Another one is really spending alongside inflation. Do you really have a budget? And the thing is that when you're working, a lot of people, they don't. They pay off the credit card every month. They know kind of what they spend, kind of the parameters, but nobody really lives on a budget. When you are retired, I don't care if you've got $500,000 or $15 million, you have to live within the lines. And I don't want you thinking, hey, we've got to live on this stringent budget, but you've got to know what your portfolio can sustain. We want to make sure that it lasts longer than you do, right? And you're never a burden to your kids and that you can do everything you've ever dreamt of. The most important number in your plan is the budget. And I was working with a family yesterday that they've done a phenomenal job. And they've got a nice lifestyle. They travel all over the world. And we were just toying around with the budget a little bit. And it was kind of that conversation of how much really could we spend? And they were really taken back by, just increasing the budget a few $1,000s a month can take a significant toll on the portfolio. Can really put you in a position where you're running out of money much sooner than you thought. Or if you've got a value to leave money to your kids someday, that's something that the wealthy also consider, is keeping the wealth in the bloodline. And the next point I really want to focus on, that the wealthy have paid their fair share of taxes along the way, whether it was your job, whether it's now you're living on your 401k, your Social Security's taxed, all these type of things. And so the wealthy mindset, they don't mind paying taxes. They don't mind paying their fair share, but no more, okay? So do you have a plan that's designed around your portfolio, your wealth, to keep as much as possible via taxes? Because if you keep more of your wealth, you can spend more, you can give more, it'll last longer, and all these things actually get easier in retirement because you have more control of your taxes in retirement than any time in your life, as long as you do it right, as long as you proactively plan. And when I talk about being engaged in your finances, being proactive is part of the success factor of the ultra wealthy and truly successful retirees. I always encourage you guys to leave your retirement questions in the comments section, and I want you to do that, and we can address that in future videos. That's what Donald did. And he wrote, Chris, I'm 60 years old, working part-time. Is that bad? Donald, to be straight, if you're working part-time at 60, I'd probably say congratulations, because that probably means that you did a great job of saving. Because again, you're not of age to get on Social Security, not till 62. You're not on Medicare until maybe 65. So it's one of two things. Donald, you're either, retired with wealth and hopefully retired confidently, having proactive planning, looking at that for the next 30 years, because 60 is still very young. Or you may have worked for the federal government, the city, the county, and you may have a pension. The individuals that retire in their 50s that we work with, not all of them, but a good majority of them that are in their 50s, you'd be surprised. They weren't making hundreds of thousands or millions of dollars a year. They were making $50,000 a year. They were making $75,000, $80,000 a year, okay? But they were working for the city, the state, the federal, and in many cases, they're getting pensions when they retire. You work 20, you work 30 years at one of these entities, and you can retire in style. And I always say you're not gonna get rich working for these entities, generally because the salaries aren't executive level salaries, but you'll have a very rich retirement because you can retire at 60. You'll have health benefits in many cases. You'll have a pension coupled alongside your Social Security, so you got foundational income before you even get out of bed in the morning. It's pretty amazing. So Donald, I'd say if you're working part-time, there's nothing wrong with that at all. You're staying active, you're staying engaged. The one thing I want you and our viewers to keep in mind though, is if you are gonna turn on your Social Security at 62, you gotta be careful, because if you're making over about $23,000 a year, then you're going to start penalizing your Social Security. So for over the next 2 years, depending on your Social Security timing, that would be the only reason I would say working part-time may be a problem. But I commend you for the great work you did. And I want to encourage our viewers to drop your retirement questions, anything related, down below in the comment section. We'll get to it. All right, getting back to the wealthy mindset. The 3 most important words when you're ready to retire is income, income, and income. And so devising a plan to take this wealth that you build and generate a paycheck from it. How are you going to turn your wealth into a paycheck that you're not going to outlive? And the thing that many advisors counsel around are products, are tools, are certain investments, and that's important. But I want you to think about it. It's not just rates of return. It's not just a product. It's how all of these things are going to work together, how they're going to complement one another and really hit your objectives. I'll tell you, there are some great vehicles to generate income. That can be bonds, it could be CDs, it could be income annuities. There's just a list of different things that I'll mention it too for our retirees. Dividend paying stocks, but all of these type of things. So what is your comfort level? How much liquidity do you need? What is your plan to take your wealth, take the portion of your wealth that you need to generate the income that you need, and then you can invest the rest for growth, give to causes you believe in, whatever that is. But the wealthy mindset is walking into retirement knowing that they've got a paycheck that they're not going to outlive. All right, click on this next video to learn how the effects of a positive mindset can have a big impact on your money.